just take it away from him. Under 4 left.
This is sports show.
Alive again. 52.
Got me in my hormones. All gas, no brakes. Score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get foreclosed. I've been in my head, but it's not about a T3. I like to learn, but there's nothing you can teach me. We all got opinions. You about to hit Dimitri and Mitches. CJS never really misses.
You hit it, I pressed it. We're recording.
Hey, do you mind if I just 1 second?
Why? What did you do? Oh, the pen.
I need a pen.
You need a pen.
Well, I gotta keep notes.
They say the pen is mightier than the sword.
You know what? It really is.
Yeah, it is. Knowledge.
Hey, can you close the locker? Hey, showing people what we're all about here. What are we doing? Showing all the insides.
That's where we store our Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Roster, episode 188. Look, the other week we did the CJSW show, but now we're back to the other side of the coin, the actual podcast, the one that lasts a little bit longer.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Can I just say?
Welcome back. Cheers.
Last week, we took a week off.
No one seemed too confused or...
No.
Or
no. That's not true. Old cousin Jim.
He
Met
asked
him for a
about it,
quick
hey?
coffee. He goes, just wondering, when's the episode coming up?
Yeah, sometimes
He was a little upset.
we like to test the
market.
I see you finally erased the photo I drew for you.
Yeah, you did. I did. A very graphic photo was drew. My son, though, okay. When I use the word graphic, maybe
That's a little extreme.
a little extreme. However, he recognized me right away. So you take it as you will. I don't
You've
know.
seen that talent before, have you? Anyways, let's get to it. Sports Show episode 188 roster. Don't forget that you can follow us on the channels a bunch of different ways. Instagram and Twitter. It's at Sports Show YYC. You can also follow us on Facebook. You just look up the Sports Show. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube channel, Sports Show TV. That's what it is. Please look it up. The subscribers are climbing.
Yeah.
They're getting there.
They're getting there.
The metrics are better, so we thank you for it. But we got a lot of work to do. And, of course, like we did last week, CJSW, CJSW.com, 90.9 FM. We are playing the second Tuesday of every month. Hopefully in the new year we can change it. They like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting us, not just CJSW, but you roster. It's been positive, so we may be getting some more airtime. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but
Yep.
I'm excited. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited.
I agreed. It was a risque picture you wrote or drew of me. A risque.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
that's all
thought
I'm
to
saying.
proportion.
Yeah, it was. Actually, you might have been kind. Yeah, well, you might have been kind. With
I
that-
drew a classic male photo.
That's it.
We do it on cars. We do it on
during
walls,
math class, during
math
algebra, whatever. It is what it is. It's just intergenetics. Yeah.
Sad news
Yeah.
to the roster.
Oh,
Unfortunately, this is the send-off show until 2022.
true. But
Right.
it's not that bad. You know why? Because
You just
it's
got to
all-
wait a week.
The thing is,
Yeah.
this is the thing. Christmas and New Year's now fall on the weekend. So at the end of the day, we're doing this show. You won't hear from us for another week or so, blah, blah, blah. By the time you know it, by the time you're back into the groove of things, we're back.
We're back.
It's not a big
Catch
deal.
up on some stuff.
Yeah.
Follow the YouTube channel.
There you go. Catch up. Because I don't want to call them out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're up to par.
They could do a little bit better
They could
job,
do a
but
little
hey,
bit better.
hey, positive reinforcement.
That's right.
Yeah.
Radical-
Areas of opportunity.
Radical candor, as I call it. From there, we go to the opening drive. Now, here's the thing. We missed last week.
Sure.
A lot has happened since last week. I'm not lying to you. I said to myself, I got the notes ready. Well, basically, what could change in a week? A lot changed in a week. So here we go. Could we talk about the Grey Cup, which I wanted to start about last week? We could, but we're not going to. Why? Because, hey, it's over now. It's done. It's CFL football. Zach Caleros, Greek. MVP, MOP, most outstanding player, as they call it in the CFL, wins the Grey Cup. Congratulations to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Back to back. The pause was because of COVID. Back to back.
Right.
Champions.
Back, comma, back.
Correct.
Right.
Good grammatical.
Thank you.
I like that. So from there, I said to myself, what else could we talk about? Because there's been a lot going on in the NHL. But
Right.
I said, before we get to that, because we have an NHL segment, let's talk about the big news of the weekend.
The big news.
The big news, Jake Paul. Listen, this is the thing. The guy, he says, hey, December 18th, Tommy Fury, let's do this. Let's fight. Tommy Fury says, I'm not feeling good. My stomach hurts or whatever the case may be. I got to go out. So he goes, well, I want to put on a show for my fans. Hey, Tyrone Woodley, you want to fight again? You've been asking. I kind of need a guy. Sure, I'll show up. Let's fight. I want you. I need you. Let's do this.
Fair enough.
Dimitri, tell the people what happened.
Tyron Woodley takes the fight on short notice.
Short notice.
Not a big deal to him. He says
didn't
he's
mind.
been training for this moment for a while.
Yep.
He postured up.
Yep.
They get into the ring.
Right.
The fight happens.
Right.
They're a little more cordial this time around.
Much nicer.
A little more of a respect. I get
Friends,
it.
if you will.
Yeah, buddies.
Compadres. Comrades.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, it
You
looks
can't
like
say that
it.
in this country.
Hey, I'm just saying. It is what it is.
So, needless to say, old chums, if they, there's another one. But anyways, they get into the ring.
Right.
The fight's happening. From my assessment, not as exciting
No.
to start off as it was the first time around. They
Right.
were a little bit looser. But you know what? That also comes with the territory. You're a little more cautious. You understand what the other guy's all about.
Right.
They were feeling each other out, just working it. Well, what happens?
What?
8-round fight.
Right.
Scheduled for 8 rounds. Looks to go the distance.
Yep.
Tyron Woodley looking in better shape than one would think on short notice.
True.
The Jake Paul is there. He's been training for the fight of his life. What he thought was Tommy Fury, but now Tyron Woodley, but now the knocked out.
What?
Tyron Woodley in the 6th round, he catches him with not just an overhand right, an overhand death sentence. 25, no chance of parole, life in prison. How you doing? Don't care. Send me the check in the mail.
Yeah.
Overhand right.
Dimitri.
It's over.
Can I ask you a question? I saw the hit on Instagram. So I was like perusing the night. I didn't buy the fight because I'm like, I can't buy this. Like, I just can't do it. But I have to admit, I was curious. I wanted to know what was going on because I was watching my NFL games that were on Saturday night.
I know where you're coming from. You don't want to pay for the subscription.
Right.
But you'll go catch a clip or two on a free site.
Absolutely. We all know that's
Who
what I
doesn't?
am.
Who doesn't?
The hit's one thing. But can I be honest? Was it the way Woodley fell that was really the attraction? Like, some people will fall and you're like, it was fixed. There's no fixing here. Where a lot of people said in the first fight, it might have been fixed. No. Jake Paul smoked Tyrone Woodley. And if you don't believe me, watch the highlights. The dude doesn't brace himself. Face first, done.
You know what? Those are the most dangerous knockouts
Yes.
because you got to remember when a guy's falling like that,
Yeah.
like there's nothing catching his fall, right?
Right.
Like I've seen
That's what I mean.
That's a tough one. I've seen gruesome ones. Where a guy's leg buckles or his arm buckles behind him and they just fall awkwardly because they're limp. They're just out cold. He was out cold, timber, fate. Like if the knockout didn't knock him out,
Yeah.
the impact on the floor sure
bravo.
knocked him out. Like it was
2 for
bad.
1,
There you go. Yeah, there you go. And you know how we love our 2 for 1s.
Who doesn't?
I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Free wings. Anyways, I digress. There was no fixing a fight like that. You don't go, look, this is the fight game, you guys. There's no match fixing because there's no need for match fixing. Let me explain to you why. Jake Paul is just absolutely, utterly brilliant, this guy. He's just brilliant. Number one, first cardinal rule about fighting and making money. You got to show up and win.
Sure.
He's been doing that.
Yeah.
You got to play to your strengths. He's been doing that. You got to have a good team and a promotional team. He's been doing that. He's playing his part. The team's playing their part. And he's just winning. And he's becoming a draw right now. But look at who he's fighting. He's been fighting UFC guys that aren't trained for boxing.
NBA guys.
NBA guys, other influencers. Like, the progression, I got to give the guy nothing but credit. The progression has been going on. And let's face it, you can clearly see that the guy has been putting in the work in the sport of boxing. Because
I have to admit, you're right. You're
he's
absolutely
putting in the
right.
work, Mitch,
Yeah.
because if he was just a slugger, probably Askren and Woodley would win these fights because you look at it and you say, okay, he's a slugger. They're going to catch him. They're used to that type of thing. But this guy's beating these guys, setting up the jab, moving his head, walking around the ring.
Yeah.
Like, you got to remember, he beat Woodley in the first fight by decision because
True.
he did outbox him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Agreed,
so
agreed.
these guys are also coming up and saying, man, you know what? This guy's got some talent. So he's been playing a little bit of possum.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yep.
And I want to see where he takes it from here, Mitch.
I agree. And I think you know what? Without you knowing it, you took me exactly into where I wanted to go. He knocked out Woodley clean. Clean. You can't say anything. Ben Askren, clean. No problem. Nate Robinson, clean. The reality is he's not getting the respect that does he deserve it? I don't know. We'll find out later in the segment and later on the show. How does Jake Paul get a little respect? Because at 5-0, granted, you can call it celebrity boxing or you can call it he's knocked out 2 UFC champions now. I don't know. What do you do? How do you get? Because Jake Paul still, his biggest struggle is getting the respect of those that he really is trying to get the respect of. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, it took Johnny Hockey, 13, 14-year-old Johnny Hockey,
The prodigy.
the prodigy, to say to me, Mitch, the reason I watch boxing or even care about this sport is because of this guy. And it really clicked with me and still to this day sits with me, resonates with me. And I say to myself, okay, he's got a point. And since then, it's replaying in my mind, Dimitri. And this guy's he's backing up what he's saying. He goes, I want to fight you, and then he's knocking you out. I want to fight you, I'm going to knock you out. I know he's not a boxer, but his ratings, his everything is what he is. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll find out later where me and Dimitri actually put him on. Are we going to say it? Are we going to do
No,
this?
not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. All
Just
right.
tease him.
Tease him a
Just
little bit.
teasing him.
Hey, how you doing?
Look, here's the reality of it, okay? And you know what? I think we should start a new sports show drinking game. Anytime I mention Sidney Crosby, Aaron Rodgers, or Floyd Mayweather Jr., if I mention them, you got to take a shot. That should be the new drinking game. Because, hey, there you go. Hey, because I'm about to mention it.
There it is.
Let me explain to you something. Only the WWE has it figured out, okay? That you can be successful
Right.
no matter what side of the aisle you're on,
Okay.
as long as you draw tickets.
That's
What do I
right.
mean by that? In the WWE, you got your Hulk Hogan good guy,
Right?
right?
Babyface.
Babyface. And then you got the heel, the Vince McMahon, or right now the Roman Reigns bad guy.
Love it.
Love it. They're both drawing tickets.
There you are.
Meaning, you don't always have to be the fan favorite, the beloved, the Julio Cesar Chavez, the Canelo Alvarez, the
Right,
boy
right.
wonder. Jake Paul's figured out what Floyd Mayweather figured out before anybody else in the fight game. And Conor McGregor saw it and said, "Oh yeah,
Oh.
I see what."
Can I be a part of that game?
Because you got to have it in your personality in order to really sell it. But he's playing the bad guy. Floyd Mayweather understood that people wanted to pay to see him lose.
Yeah.
And he embraced it. And Jake Paul's looking and saying, oh my God, I'm going to do the same thing. So he trash talks.
Yep.
He picks, he hand selects his opponents. He's so arrogant, and we love him for it because why are we paying? We're paying to see him lose. And he's winning.
That's
and
right.
guess what? We're going to pay it again.
It's true.
I don't care if his opponent is the Dalai Lama. We're going to watch it.
I think
It
the
could
Dalai
be Pope
Lama.
Francis.
Hey,
We're going to watch it.
If he fights the Dalai Lama, I am down for that.
I got him at a minus 118
I
just
think
off
so.
the gate.
I'm just saying, like,
you got to play the odds.
you
right
gotta
now.
play the odds.
But my point is he's the bad guy in the sport. He's doing it right.
That's right.
He's doing it well, and you got to give him all the props because why? Everyone criticizes him for being a YouTuber. Well, guess what? All you people who criticize. You say the same thing about Kim Kardashian. Now you're saying the same thing about Jake Paul.
You can't stop
You're
watching.
jealous. You can't stop watching.
stop watching.
It's entertainment. He's doing it right. Everything about it, I love. I love everything. Now I'm actually cheering for him.
I don't wanna say it.
Mitch.
This is what he doesn't want. He doesn't want us cheering for him.
I don't care what he wants. It's what I want.
It's true. It's true.
Now I want him to fight.
I know.
All the guys, and I want him to win. I'm on the bandwagon.
Can I be honest?
I'm a Jake Paul fan.
Last comment. Is this not glorified bike rack fighting? Like, hey, I'm going to meet you at the bike racks, except at the bike racks, there's going to be a huge promotion called Triller
Yeah.
with big lights and cameras. Is this not the same thing?
It is. It's amazing.
It's
And everyone's just huddling around.
Yeah,
huddling. You know what?
Like, oh my
That's
God.
Yeah, what?
Remember? Oh my God. All right.
Schoolyard Kumite.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
That's what it was.
Write that down.
Right then.
From there, we go to the NHL because, hey, NHL guys that listen to this podcast, here we go. What a crazy week. So last week, I told you, I was writing down my notes. Let me tell you something about the sports show power ranking. I'm going to do it at the end of this segment, not now. It completely flipped from last week.
Right.
So, what can we talk about? Can we talk about how the Flames, the Calgary Flames, our Homer team, were the first ones to get COVID and started this whole trend? We could.
Sure.
Cool. Hey, you guys started it. You guys are going to be the first ones out of it. Bottom line, the NHL has decided, hey guys, listen, this Omicron, the Omicron variant, it's getting a little too hyper. It's getting a little too extended. Let's shut it down till December 27th. At least. Let's see what happens. Good. So, as we all know, the NHL right now, shut down. Boom. Done.
We know that.
Along the way, what I'd like to talk about real quick, Dimitri, I wanted to bring it up on last week's episode, but we didn't do it because, hey, we didn't do it. It's not a big deal because it comes up again. The Olympics are down the street. Not anymore. The
Right.
NHL has decided and said, hey, sorry, guys, we want to do it, but we don't want to do it. The NHL has now declared, and the NHLPA agrees, no NHL players from either country, doesn't matter where you're from, you're not going to the Olympics. What are your thoughts on NHL backtracking on the Olympics?
Well, yeah, look, it's we're in a different time, Mitch. You know, they're backtracking for a lot of reasons, but I mean, the COVID thing is another reason as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, sure.
And so
Well, it's the main reason.
It is the main reason.
They
but
were about to go.
Look,
right?
I don't want to get overly controversial, but you know, and I know as a little, you know, some people don't want to join those Olympics for whether it be political reasons.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
Right, I'm just saying.
It takes a
We're
lot
on
to make a
YouTube,
Sunday.
We're being politically correct.
Right? It takes a lot to make a Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. The reality is yeah, you can't take that kind of risk anymore. Okay. If they're already shutting down the season for, you know, partially just to see what's going on. Again, the teams and the organizations feel the brunt of this. I mean, okay, there are players right now before traveling overseas that are getting COVID that they have. We just talked about the Calgary Flames amongst others. You know, you look at the New York Islanders. I mean, these guys probably have it the worst out of everyone. They're going to have to play a killer schedule if this continues.
Yeah.
Right. And so I understand it. In this case, I agree with it. Why take the chance? Why take the you know, the risk of the season, because the NHL season's already been impacted enough, and they
Right.
do have to look after their own. Under normal circumstances, yeah, I hated it when they pulled out of the Olympics.
Right.
I didn't like it one bit. A lot of people didn't, but you know, like I said,
So, you know, thank you for bringing that up. And I'm glad you said what you said, because I'm actually on the other side. So last week when I wanted to bring this up, this was before COVID actually reared its ugly head once again. The big controversy is, should NHL players be at the Olympics? And you know what? This is my whole thing. Why do we watch the Olympics? Yeah, we like the cool sports that we normally don't see. The bobsleigh, the luge, the high or the ski jumps, all that
Figure
stuff, right?
skating.
Figure
Please
skating,
don't
sure.
leave that out.
Well, to be honest, are we cheering for our country? Sure we are.
yeah.
Who does you know, what are they called? The figure fours? No, not the figure four. That's a wrestling move. What are they called? The when they do the four, the spinning in the air.
What do you thought? Like the
quadruple axel.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
just
it
said
is.
figure skating.
Okay, I know, but what I'm saying is,
Oh, the quadruple
you
axel.
don't find yourself cheering for that day to day, but you're finding yourself during the Olympics.
It's in my top 3. You know that.
Exactly.
I love the figure skating, men or women.
But I will
or
say
both.
this: as much as I love the NHL guys being at the Olympics, I see why a lot of NHL owners and or the management don't want them to be there. Pretend COVID doesn't exist. A couple of years ago, Mr. Tavares busted his knee when he was with the Islanders. So a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, whenever this happened, I can see every owner in the world going, no, it's not worth it. And COVID might have just basically just put the asterisks on top of this. I'm actually, I don't want to say I'm happy, because I do want to see that competitive hockey, Dimitri. But if I was an owner, if I was a hockey team, so imagine you're You're an owner. You're like, yeah, just go play. And then all of a sudden, the same scenario happens that one of your best players ends up getting hurt and can't return. You don't even make the playoffs, or you do, but you end up losing because your best player is out. I can see why people do not want to have the NHL players at the Olympics. I totally 100% agreed.
Mitch, I agree. Look, I agree as well. I can't argue against it. They put up the money. They put up the liability.
That's what I'm saying.
It's their product that suffers. And the list goes on. I mean, if I'm an NHL owner, and I get it, I think if anyone was until you're in that role where you're like, wait a sec, my number one guy is now out for the season.
Yeah.
Because he played overseas, and I don't get any bit of compensation for it.
Zero.
None whatsoever.
You might get money back. What that means nothing.
Sure. You know what I mean?
Nothing. Especially if your team doesn't make
it's
the playoffs.
It's a deductible is basically what you're getting. You're getting the deductible.
You're getting a deductible.
Hey,
that's exactly what you're
sorry
getting.
Your player got lost. Here's your $50K deductible. Premiums won't go up until we review next year.
Hey, see you next year.
Hey, what are we going to do?
Hey, what are we doing?
Hell of an Olympics, though, eh? Hey.
Almost got the gold.
I'm just saying, silver's not bad. Silver's not bad. So the reality, I'm just
write that down. Deductible.
You know what? That's the title of the podcast right now. The deductible.
The deductible.
So I understand all that. I'm just saying from a fan standpoint, because what the Olympics represents is what soccer fans get in the World Cup.
Yeah.
They get the best of the best. It's what NBA gets during the Olympics. They get the best of the country. So, we're watching all these other sports that like the World Cup, as we've argued in our list of 64 and just in earlier episodes, we've argued is probably the greatest tournament ever.
100%.
Right? Because it's country versus country. It means something, and it's all the stars in one place. You're just watching mega teams all over the place. We used to get that in hockey, and we loved it. And especially as Canadians, imagine like the year that we won the gold, right, in 2010 in Vancouver. Like this was okay.
You brought up exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so this was a big deal for us. And it's like that team, we got to see the Crosby with the Iginla and how that golden goal happened. And you got to see Taves versus Kane, where they play. Like, it's just these super teams, and now we don't get it anymore. And it sucks because let's call it what it is. The Spangler Cup was what the Olympics is right now. We got that already. As fans, we don't get it. But as an owner, if I'm paying a guy $10 million and he's going in and subcontracting over there, what do I get out of it?
That's right. And you said it. So
I'm lost
real
for words,
quick,
man.
The Spangler Cup also.
I guess not really lost. I went on a rant, but you know what I mean.
So Team Canada will not be sending a team over to the Spangler Cup. I'm not sure if that tournament's even going on forward. But what I can say is I agree with my counterpart. The reality. How about that? The reality. Look, none of us are owners except for me and Dimitri, who are owners of the Green Bay Packers. So the reality is simply this. I don't see the benefit of sending your best, and not your mediocre, your best players to the Olympics. Where? And this year, just a little FYI, if one of the players ends up going, so let's pretend Omicron really drastically drops, and they end up sending, they're like, oh, we changed our mind, we're going to send it. And then all of a sudden it spikes up again, argument's sake. An NHL player, if found to have COVID while they're in China during the Olympics,
forget about it.
5 weeks quarantine.
Yeah, forget it.
5 weeks. How do you explain that scenario to the rest of the team? Your best player is gone for 5 weeks. And I don't care if you're Swedish, Russian, Canadian, US. 5 weeks? Too much. The risk is too great right now based on COVID and everything else. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Just let the amateurs do what they do best, and that's be amateur and play in the Olympics as they are. And you know what? I like the Spangler Cup, by the way. I enjoy it. I enjoy watching it. I like the fan. Maybe it's the fan thing.
It's got the junior hockey element to it. But that's the other thing too is the World Juniors is an excellent tournament. Okay.
Well said.
So why is it that the World Juniors why can't they have the double tournament in a year? So why can't the World Juniors play their World Juniors and do their Olympics, and that Those be the teams. Now follow me on this.
Write this down.
Write it down. Why do I got to
Why
be the one
can't
to tell you all the
Team
time?
2,
Thank
Team
you.
1 goes to the Olympics.
Mitch, follow me on this.
Go.
World Juniors
Yeah.
happens during New Year's. We love it. We see it. We embrace it.
Love it.
Everything about it. Guess what? 2 months later, not even, the Olympics are happening in that year. You want to talk rivalry? You want to talk bad blood?
Exactly.
You want to talk ratings? You want to talk Jake Paul?
I like what you did.
I'm
there.
sorry. I
like
just
it.
can't.
You
I
just
love
had
the guy.
to. Yeah, no choice.
Hey,
You guys did this to them.
I feel like I'm the third Paul brother.
All
That's
right.
just me.
On top of all that, you would say to yourself, wow, the NHL had a pretty exciting week. Oh, it got even a little more exciting. Right before we jump out of the NHL and go to the NFL, one more big topic, Homer conversation, because here in Calgary, we got to talk about it. Yesterday, all of a sudden, I'm minding my own business. You're minding your own business.
What we do.
I'm on the Instagram, on the Twitters, making sure that the followers are loved and taken care of or whatever. Boom, I see this thing. City of Calgary and the owners are fighting / the owners are jumping out of the new arena. So let me backtrack. For those that don't know, here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, we're the home of the Calgary Flames. We have probably one of the oldest, if not most useless stadiums of all time. It's called the Saddledome. Great venue. However, the problem is it doesn't accommodate today's world. Okay, so because it literally looks like a saddle, a lot of major concerts and so on and so forth are passed over because, hey, it just doesn't work. The production and all that stuff. So Calgary said, hey, how you guys doing? Let's do a new arena. It's been since 1986 or 85 is when the arena was first built. So over 30 plus years.
It's for the Olympics in 88.
That's
Really,
correct.
they were getting ready, yeah.
So let's get a new one. Approved, done, permits sent in, everything's good to go. Well, yesterday the owners come back and say, hey, your new mayor, she may have overstepped her boundaries. She's kind of saying some stuff. We don't like it. We don't want to do the arena anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, as of right now, the Calgary Flames were set to start and build a new arena to be ready for 2024. The project has been put on hold. Dare I say, abolished. Dimitri, I'm not lying to you. What do you think of this name? The Houston Flames.
Mitch, you said you hate to be a homer. You hate to talk about just the home team because
I don't want to.
we have downloads across the Americas. North, well, mostly North, but Canada, US, amongst other places.
The
in
Emirates,
world.
they're in there.
Emirates were in there.
I think
Europe.
we're in Hungary.
We do. Actually, we just got one in London,
Yeah.
Denmark. Yeah.
I think I know the London person.
You think you know the London?
Maybe.
Fair enough.
Hey,
Thank you.
top of the morning to you.
What? That's
I
not
don't know.
that.
That's
You know what?
that's
Move-
London.
Hey,
That's London.
Move on. Move
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Your accents are probably the most accurate ever.
Top of the morning to you.
Listen, Chicago,
Yeah.
you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, you know what we're talking about. Montreal, you know what we're talking about. Detroit, you know what we're talking about. Winnipeg, you know what we're talking about. You want to know why I know you know what we're talking about? And roster, why am I spitting off these cities? Because these were all cities that were this close to moving. Look at it.
That's
okay?
not me.
That's called
That's not me.
That's called the Mitch measurement.
That's
you know
it.
what I
Right
mean?
there.
It's just like that. You can barely see it. But hey, it's enough to satisfy. Okay? Anyways.
More than enough.
Sure. So here's the thing. All on the verge of leaving. All on the verge of just leaving. Edmonton. I can't believe I forgot our neighbors to the north.
Yeah.
And what happened? The deal was done. All the deals were made. They were able to figure it out. They got new arena deals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what bothers me about the entire thing about this before we go into the details. And Mitch, you're a detail guy. You know the stories and the details better than I do. But for crying out loud, we now have the oldest arena. Okay.
Yep.
It's falling apart. It's not good. Look, we live in Calgary. You want to go to the washroom during actual playtime?
Uh-oh.
You're gonna miss a period just
Uh-oh.
waiting in line. Am I wrong? Not wrong.
you're not
Okay. You want to talk about old time facility? You want to talk outdated? You want to the list can go on and on. And what is the NHL saying? The NHL is saying, guys, We're here for the fan experience too. It's not just for our sake, but for heaven's sake, it's for your sake too. And the city and the ownership, they can't come to a deal. Wait a second, they did come to a deal.
Oh, wait, they did.
Now the game is changing. Man, this is the worst thing in the world. Part of me says, man, I could care less. Just send these guys packing. But what good does that do as a fan? I can't go watch a hockey game right now.
It's not just the Flames, ladies and gentlemen. Let me explain.
It's the Stampeders.
The Calgary
it's the
Flames,
Roughnecks, our lacrosse team.
right.
It's everyone.
The Calgary Flames own
For $9 million.
all the sports teams here in Calgary. So if the Flames roll out, I'm not saying that the Hitmen will roll out with them, but you're really not getting that kind of, like, you're not getting the support. The Stampeders, which I know a lot of people might cut down the CFL, but if I may for 1 second. By the way, the Grey Cup, great game. Went into overtime. However, the Calgary Stampeders, you could say, are the Dallas Cowboys of the CFL. You could say. Or the New England Patriots, meaning they're always in it. This year, not our greatest year, but the reality is that the Calgary Flames run that team as well. And you want to talk about a team that really needs a facility? It's the Calgary Stampeders, which weren't even in discussion. The bottom line is this: the entertainment district that we were,
but they're on the hook. But Mitch, they're on the hook for putting up the money to demolish.
I agree.
McMahon Stadium.
I know, and this is what I'm saying. The point of the matter is the Stampeders are going to endure another couple of years of crappy stadium facilities until the new one is built. Because I'm a big believer. Once you build the big one, it's like what's that? Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come. Once you build the new Saddle Dome or the new arena, then they'll say, hey, let's make one for the CFL for our Stampeders, which are, in my opinion, the gem, the creme de la creme when it comes to the CFL. I take it back. All I'm going to say is this. I'm really disappointed and I'm really nervous. We had a podcast and I tried to go back to the archives because we actually did talk about this maybe a year or so ago when this was in negotiation.
Yeah.
CFL, or pardon me, City of Calgary, you have to approve this deal. You didn't want the Olympics. We tried to put an Olympic bid in. That didn't go through.
Oh, don't go.
Then we tried to do this arena. That went through our buddy, Jeff Davison, who was trying to run for mayor. That's a long story short. Whatever, he didn't win. This new person comes in, Dimitri. I'm actually worried that the Calgary Flames in a few years, dare I say in a couple years, will be gone and off. If we don't get this arena, mark my words, podcast 188, you said?
Yeah.
Wednesday, December the 22nd, the Calgary Flames will be gone if this arena does not go through.
They will be gone because they have options.
Of course they have options.
There's
cities biting at the bit for
They don't need to be here. They're here for the love of the city. They're trying to be here.
I'm going to have a drink.
Have it, Mitch. I can't even. They want to be here. And you know what? In all fairness, you know what I'd love, Mitch? I'd love to see if we can get the mayor on. Because you know what? In all fairness, sure, there's two sides to every story.
Sure.
We're talking it. Look, we're fans, and we don't want this deal to happen from a fan's perspective. I can understand that. So maybe there's just something we don't know. So you know what, Mayor Gonda? If you'd love to come on the show, we would implore you.
Are you calling her out on the sports show for the University Channel?
I would love that, actually.
Wow.
I'd love that, personally.
That'd be nice.
Well, why not? But here's
I'm not going to be nice.
Yeah, no.
I'm not.
Hey,
I'm holding back.
You will.
I'm not holding back.
Hey.
No.
Hey.
I won't do it.
Mitch.
Nope.
Stop it.
We're Davidson people.
Stop
We're
it.
Davidson people.
He's your buddy, not mine. Okay, I like him too. I've always liked him.
No,
How you
fair enough,
doing?
fair enough.
Anywames, no.
You know she's going to win us over.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I know. We're going to come be
easy
like,
going,
what
guys,
a
the
wonderful
problem,
woman.
Wow. The Flames should leave.
Yeah, and we're and
that's
we,
what I'm worried about.
And we're coming with. Listen,
the podcast is now relocated to Houston.
Mitch, we have to think about the aftermath.
Right.
City of Calgary, I implore you, just think about this for a second. We have a downtown that is empty because our industries have gotten decimated.
Yep.
We had an Olympics that the previous mayor put up for a referendum. It got voted down. And then guess what? He comes back on air and goes, oh, man, I really wish you guys didn't do that. And we're like, well, then why didn't you make the call? We have a blue ring that is supposedly art that does nothing, and 4 pieces of
$300,000, I might add.
Okay, hold on. And 4 pieces of rebar.
Right.
Okay, with rocks on them.
Right.
That we commissioned another $1 million for someone to bring in. We have
it's not
Winsport, which is Canada's hub for all Olympic athletes that is still in need of funds, and we're about to let the arena deal walk during a time of COVID for what? For $9 million. You just raised my taxes. You don't think I got my property tax assessment? You didn't see that $36 raise? I saw it, and if I saw it, so did everyone else. So you got no problems taking the money. Where you putting it?
He's on
Buddy,
a
I'll
rant.
tell you this.
He's on a rant.
I'll tell you this.
Going.
The flame will run out in Calgary quicker
Don't.
than people. No, Mitch,
Don't.
quicker
Don't
than
say it.
people think. If I were you guys, I would. I'm telling you, chalk this one up to a loss because I am telling you they are gone.
Hot take.
Gone.
I think he's overreacting
Unless just cooler heads prevail. But they're gone. You got to remember, the owners of the Flames are owners of some of the largest oil and gas companies, not just in
which
Calgary,
is why
Alberta,
Houston
Canada,
is nice.
of North America, of the world. Okay, these people are looking at it through a completely and utterly different lens. And the fact is this is not just a 2021 thing. This has been something that they have been battling for a very long time. They've had to move locations where it was first proposed. They had to cut red tape over here. And just when they thought that they had it figured out, you have another person coming in at guns a-blazing just to prove a point. And that's the worst part about it, is that until I'm proven wrong, it's a spite play, Mitch. I'm upset. I'm a sports fan for crying
I
out
know,
loud.
but you know what? I'm telling you right now, my friend, based on everything you said, and I agree because, hey, I don't want to agree with you, but I'm going to agree with you on this one because we're partners.
Jerry!
And I got your back. It doesn't look good. As of right now, December
So
22nd
mad.
does not look good. But what does look good is the sports show NHL Power Rankings, brought to you by, hey, Bonacera Pizza, home of the 10-cent chicken wing. It's not really 10 cents anymore. And I got yelled at by my mom last week. Yeah.
By the way, we're the next Quebec.
Yeah, we're the next Quebec.
Yeah.
Here
They're going to
we
leave, win
go.
the cup in Houston, and then we're going to want a team back.
At number 5, it's the Minnesota Wild. Ladies and gentlemen, they're staying steady. They're there. They're boring you. Paint drying, them playing hockey, same thing. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, I like that at number 5.
Okay.
Yep.
At number 4, hey, Ovechkin. I cut you down at the beginning of the year. You're showing me some respect. I like what you're doing. Washington at number 4.
Like it? Right.
Not bad.
Justified.
Not bad.
Justified.
I like what's happening.
I told you.
At number 3, you sons of bitches. You were playing possum the whole time and using the salary cap. Tampa Bay. Where were you all week? Last week, you might have made number 1. Screw you. You're at number 3.
Mayor Mitch.
Mayor
Spite
Mitch.
play.
Spite play. Number 3. At number 2, hey, we called you at the beginning of the year. We said you guys were good. You guys were sucking. And then you got on the heater. Ladies and gentlemen, at number 2, it's the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
They're back, baby.
They're back.
The house always wins.
At number 1, it's the team that just keeps on winning. And they just stay under the radar. George is coaching them to a Stanley Cup championship once again. But wait, if it's South Carolina George, and based on what we just said, if there's a team that's down in Houston, I want a team that's out in Dallas. I know the Dallas Stars suck, but I don't care. It's Carolina and Dallas, number 1
Wow.
on the RLRT.
You got Dallas at number
Sports
1.
Show power ranking, number 1. Dallas and Carolina, number 1.
You know what?
All because of what just happened just now.
Listen, in all
I
fairness,
just did it. I did an audible.
in all fairness, argue him wrong.
Argue me wrong. Argue me wrong. Carolina, the Jerks, number 1. 1B, Dallas Stars. / the Houston Flames.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying. Well, real quick, we're going to do the sports show bottom dwellers. At number 5, it's the Kraken.
So sick of hockey.
We've let them off for a little while.
Right.
You're number 5. But you know what? Number 5 is not bad compared to the other counter guys that have been around for a little while.
There's no
and they
such thing
still
as
suck.
bad press.
Yeah, I agree. At number 4, it's the Islanders. Listen,
Oh.
You guys can't even win at home. They built you a brand new stadium. You guys almost went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. I don't understand what's happening.
It's like their dad bought him a house, and then they well, I don't need a job, and then, hey, Dad, I need the mortgage money.
The New York Islander millennials.
They did. They spoiled.
The spoiled.
Spoiled.
At number 3, it's the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
And number 2, hey, way to go, Canada. It's the Montreal Canadiens.
I'm surprised they're not number 1, but
It's a team that almost doesn't have a home soon. And hey, Houston, this could be the other team that you take. It's the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
I mean, that's justified.
Wow, do you guys suck?
Arizona's going to keep their team, and here in Calgary, we can't get it figured out.
Yeah, it's true.
What an
From
abomination.
there, we jump over to the...
How come we don't have a group like a LeBron James or... Where's Lanny McDonald? Does he not have some money saved up?
Lanny?
I'm just saying, all these other guys are buying. Can we sell it to the Fenway Group? Does that work?
It does work.
Now they already bought
However,
the Penguins.
I had a whole NFL bit ready to go. But hey, we're running late.
You know
Who
what?
cares?
It's the last one of the year.
It's the last one
I
of the
say
year.
time limit out the window,
Well,
Mitch.
you know what?
Yeah.
This is why I say it. Next week, we'll talk about it's the wild card. I wanted to ask Dimitri what he thought about the wild card because both AFC, NFC, and we've talked about it before, the NFL is jumbled. Is absolutely jumbled right now.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on what happened this week? Week 14.
Yeah, I think it reaffirmed what we talked about a couple weeks ago where, remember we discussed the top teams, we can't really believe that they're top teams.
Right.
And there's more parity in the league. I actually just don't know what's going to happen because all the top teams have shown that they, look what Tampa Bay did.
Right. Losing 9-0.
9-0.
You lost 9-0 to New Orleans.
That's a baseball score. That's the marquee
That could be
game.
a hockey score.
That could be. Well,
It
apparently
could be.
so.
Could be.
No, you know what? With all said and done, too many teams that are flip-flopping. I think we said it. I think we have to stick with it. By the looks of things, Kansas City and Green Bay are the teams to beat. They're the ones that are, that now, mind you, Green Bay. Hey, Green Bay, I love you. However, you won because of bad decision making. You did.
Okay, you know what? Great segue. Thank you. Since we don't have an NFL bit this week because the 60-second
Now the reason I didn't want listen, I Jake Paul. I owe him. I owe them. Mitch.
Hey, step back.
No, I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him. The reason is because I'm a Jake Paul guy now.
Yeah. Oh, is that
Okay,
what happened?
that's what I'm.
Is that
I'm a
happened?
Jake
Okay,
Paul
fair
guy.
enough,
You think I'm going to sacrifice my undefeated
I'm just
record
saying, I don't
to
know why
make
you're-
you guys happy?
You don't really
to
need
make
to
you
do
people
this.
happy.
I don't see
Nuh-uh.
why this is
I want to go
required,
into the
but-
new year with an undefeated record. I've made every time. I know you guys are saying to me, Mitch, I'm checking the clock. He went
saying,
over.
guys,
No, I didn't go over.
no.
I win. 0 undefeated.
It's true. You are. Hey,
So guess what?
respect.
I'm
But
taking a
I want to
break.
go back to the Baltimore. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, Jim Harbaugh says, Jim? Or what was the other? Yeah, Jim Harbaugh. He says, hey, we're down. Against Pittsburgh, they go for the 2-point conversion. Doesn't work. Boom, they lose. Against Green Bay, let's go for the 2-point conversion. If we hit it, we win. They don't hit it, they lose. Everyone will
This guy's
tell you
waiting
that
for the bonus
analytics-
spins.
Everyone tells you that the analytics will tell you you made the right call. But when you have Justin Tucker, your kicker, who's the greatest kicker of all time, dare I say, maybe even one of the greatest football players of all time, since kicking is a thing. How do you not kick the extra point, go into overtime, and take your chances? But my point is, do you like the 2-point, going for the 2-point win or lose? Do you like it?
No, that was the dumbest call.
Both times or just this time?
I still think both times, but especially this time.
So
Especially
let me back you
against
up, let me
Green
back you
Bay.
up. So you're playing Pittsburgh. You're the
lot of
Baltimore.
touching.
It's
I'm
a lot
not
of touching.
complaining. It's a lot of
You're
touching.
the Baltimore Ravens head coach. Okay. Yeah, it's you've been working out. Okay, so you're playing Pittsburgh. You're arch rivals. Yeah. 2-point conversion goes for the win. Do you call the 2-point conversion? Let me go with question number 1.
You got to go with the game. You say it all the time, but you got to ride when you have the hot hand.
all
I
right.
get it.
So you go for it. You don't hit it. A week later, You're playing Green Bay, the number 1 team, basically maybe in the NFL. You have just basically almost tied it. I mean, an extra point ties the game. You go into overtime. You go for the 2 again at home. Do you make that call?
I wouldn't, especially because you lost the week before. You need these games. You got to take a little bit of the safe route. You're coming back to play anyways. Here's why I thought that one was the most boneheaded thing on the planet. Right. Okay, let's look at the game first of all. Tit for tat. First half of the game, okay? Touchdown. Little bit of a barn burner, okay? Number 1, you got Jackson's out. You got the backup in.
He's playing great.
But the backup's playing great.
Fantastic.
So what happens? Green Bay, third quarter team. Side story. It was funny. The Jade sock.
Right.
So you know what?
He called you.
Well, no, we were together, and he told me that he might want to put a little action.
All right.
About the game last week with Green Bay.
Right.
Okay, so what do I tell him? I go, mark my words. They're a 17-point third quarter team.
Yeah.
What happened last week? 17 points third quarter. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, point is, so what happens? Green Bay takes the game over in the third quarter, like they typically do. Okay, they're going. The game's almost out of reach. It's a layup. But again, in true Green Bay fashion, we're fans. We see this week in, week out. What do? They let the game slide in the fourth quarter. But not just that. The quarterback and the Ravens are now firing at will.
Right.
They're Jake Pauling. They're Jake Pauling.
The name of this podcast is Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. That's it. Just Jake
Paul.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Okay.
Just
The problem child. That's his thing, right? That's his name. So the point is the Ravens now are forcing the Packers 3-0.
Right.
Coming down the field, touchdown. So you mean to tell me now you have 42 seconds on the clock and you're going to run the risk of losing the game right there and hand the victory over to a team that you have the pressure on,
right?
That you have on
I
tilt?
hear you. I got
you. Should have, you tie the game,
right?
Especially now that these games are really coming down to the wire and mattering to you because the people in the hunt for the wild card and the divisions are like that. AFC's crazy. I actually can't remember a time in the last decade that the AFC was this close.
Oh, I wish I had my stats on me. You should see the numbers between the AFC and the NFC. It is jumbled.
Yeah, I can't remember.
The next 3 weeks are every game literally means something.
Because what was the AFC? We know it's New England and Denver's the team this year, or the Steelers this year, or the Chiefs, or the Ravens. Like it would always bounce around between 1A and 1B. Now every team matters, and so I just don't understand how you can take that chance. You tie the game, you just go into overtime, you guys. You take
take your chances. You lost against Pittsburgh, your arch rival. This is the team that hates you more than you hate them. And with all due respect, you go for it. I respected it. It didn't work out. The week later, you say to yourself, oh, we got Green Bay on the ropes. Let's do it. I like the call, but you know what? At that moment, I would have said, no, let's kick the field goal and take our chances in overtime because it didn't work for us the week before. If they don't make the playoffs now, which by the way, they're out of the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
As of right now, had Baltimore, I know this stat for sure, had Baltimore actually hit that game last week, they'd be leading the AFC North. They'd be okay. Because of that loss, they're now out of the playoffs. They're out of the wild card. The reality is sometimes math isn't so on your side.
No, and
my dad lied to me all these years.
It was just not the right call.
Face.
It was just not the right call.
He lied.
He lied to your face.
He lied to me.
Yeah, he did. He's not.
He said numbers are.
So you got in trouble for the 10-cent chicken wing?
I don't want to talk about it right now. It's not good.
How many cents is it?
I don't know.
40. You know what,
let's go with 50 cents, but I think it's high 45.
Use the promo code SportsShowYYC for 10 cents chicken.
How about this?
Phone
Come
Maria
on a Saturday, and if I'm there, I'll hook you up. I might get in trouble. I'll take it off my cut. It's fine.
Just phone Maria.
Let's just do this.
Phone Maria.
By the way, can I tell you something real quick? Side story.
Of course.
I told you this story. We were about to get robbed.
It's crazy.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is a true story. A couple weeks ago, my mom shows up. My mom runs the joint. Let's just call it is. She shows
She's
up
got the
late.
keys to the yard.
Yeah. Oh, and everyone's yard across the board. We've been there 41 years. Long story short, my mom comes late to work because she just opens whenever she wants. It's no like 11 o'clock we open.
Sorry,
We're
isn't
not
that
Earl's.
crazy?
We're not McDonald's. Like, bottom line, we open when we open.
Isn't this crazy that you guys have had the place for 41 years?
41 years. Still doing great. And COVID or not. And she decides that day, and God willing, you know, she was running late. Traffic was holding her up. This piece of crap decides to rob the joint. And he comes to the alley, and he goes to the back, and he goes to the meat store next door. And with all respect, all three of us across the bay that we own this, we don't own, but the reality is across of it, there's 3 bays. He was a 50-50.
Right.
He says,
right.
this is the door for the Bonacera. This is the door for the meat store. He decided he went to the meat store. He opens the door. He says, hey, give me your money. And they're like, we have prime rib. Like, this is what happens.
Yeah, but that's worth a lot right
And this
now.
gentleman at this moment goes, I like what you're saying. Long story short, the police showed up, whatever. You know what? With all due respect, I don't know what to say. Like, bottom line, yes, the wings are doing okay, but we're not that great. Like, we're not making that much money,
Do you
robbers.
think that there's a podcast listener? He's like, these guys are slanging 10-cent wings
I
and getting
think
away
he was
with
listening
it.
to the pod.
He's like,
and he's like, I'm gonna rob this motherfucker.
Oh, okay, you want to give the wings away for free? No problem.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna show
you
up.
guys must be eating good
So
over
when
there.
he showed up, he goes, you know what he said? He goes, I want to go to where I don't know, for whatever reason he assumed that the pizza pans were where the money was.
Right.
By the way, we have safes. Like, this is the thing. Like, it's a reality. And this idiot shows up and he says, hey, give me the money where the pizza pans are. And long story short, you're going to go to jail.
So, you know what? I think
it.
I've connected the dots.
Yeah.
This guy, you've been open for 40 years, you
40
say.
years.
So this guy's been scouting you out since the late 70s, 80s.
80s.
When your parents did keep the cash
Probably.
in the pizza pans,
Yeah. He
right?
finally decided to make his move.
He's like, in 20 years, I'm making my move. Okay?
That's right.
I have to be patient.
Yeah.
I have to be disciplined.
That's right.
It's crazy.
It's pretty crazy. So
Everyone's okay.
hindsight, everyone's okay, but this is the thing. For this gentleman showed up with a gun. No jokes. Okay, all jokes aside now. Showed up with a gun, vest, like a face mask,
Hold on,
whatever.
He showed up with a bulletproof vest?
Yeah.
What was he worried about?
My mom. That's what he was worried about. If my mom actually opened that door, dude, that bulletproof vest meant nothing to you. Just so you know. 43 years, you would have never survived.
Maria Paul.
Right, that's not Maria Paul.
Maria Paul.
She's your next opponent, Jake. She's your next opponent. All right, here we go. All right, from there we go to rapid banter real quick. Here we go.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Policy. 2 Brazilian politicians got into an octagon to figure out who is right about the Amazon rainforest. Is this the best way to settle political arguments?
Absolutely. Eat your heart out, Bezos.
All I'm saying, Biden, Putin. I'm paying money for this.
That's the real Amazon.
World Juniors. Conor Bedard, Team Canada, announced that the 16-year-old will be on the World Juniors this year. Another Conor? What gives?
Bedard. Can you even say that word anymore?
Vegas. Next year's Super Bowl will be in Vegas. Roger Goodell still wants people to know that sports gambling is not cool. How much you want to bet that he backs down on that statement?
Just bet on black.
Connor McDavid was recently asked at a presser if he shovels his sidewalk because 20 centimeters of snow showed up in Edmonton. His answer, I have a heated driveway. Is this what the Torts was talking about?
Clearly, he shovels with his hands.
By the way, Torts, you were right. Steph Curry last week set the all-time three-point record. What's more prestigious, three-pointer or the home run record?
Home run record.
Yes. Just reported this week that Steph and his wife have an open marriage.
Really?
Just saying. You know I'm a peruser.
They have an open marriage. That's
Open
interesting.
marriage.
So those aren't the only bells he's putting through the hoops. Oh!
Last week,
Basketball reference, of
Last
course.
week, Urban Meyer, coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, called his assistant coaches a bunch of losers, then very shortly was fired. Should he apologize or it was justified?
I think he can do whatever he wants.
World Juniors. Who's a better player, Pavel Bure or Peter Forsberg?
Oh, that's a dirty question. You got to go Bure. You got to go Bure. Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do
Does Bure
it.
have a Stanley Cup? The answer? Nope. Peter Forsberg. Biggest, who sucks? Biggest disappointment in the NFL this year, Trevor Lawrence, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham Jr., the Detroit Lions, or the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I'm going to say the Jacksonville Jaguars because I can't pit it all on them. Everyone else is just obviously
Can I tell you
disappointing.
something? Should he cut his hair?
What's that?
Should he cut his hair?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want Samson to lose his powers?
I would say cut your hair.
Listen here, Delilah. You will not touch
You're a
his hair.
hippie, and you know it. Cut your hair. Arkansas waitress fired when her customer gave her a $4,000 tip. She didn't want to share it. Who's in the right? She
She's
was
in
fired
the-
because she wouldn't share it.
She's in the right.
So wait,
He
hold on.
doesn't tip $4K unless the service is good.
What?
That
Hold
was a
on, hold on,
directed
hold on.
tip.
If they're all doing a pool
Right.
and she's like, "Whoa, that 4K should go." Like, I get it. If I'm her, I get it. But if they know like started the shift, right?
Right.
You're walking in. You're like, "Oh, we're all gonna share our pool or
Right.
our money," and then all of a sudden this guy gives you a 4K tip, and then all of a
No,
sudden
you can't
she's
share
upset.
that. You can't share that.
I agree, you can't.
No,
but
no,
if you know going into it, you got to share everything.
No, well, you got to change the rules at that point. It's
This is
just
what
not-
I'm thinking.
It's not fair.
So you know going in, you're gonna share.
Yeah, guys, we're
You
gonna
see
share
the 4K
everything.
tip, you're like, hey, listen, I don't want to. I don't want to share.
Well, I
anymore.
just don't know why she told everyone about it.
That's the thing.
You know, you just got to
That's what I'm
pocket
talking
it. Put
about.
it in the apron. Call
Put
it
it
a
in the
day.
apron.
But when it's big
Can we
like
talk
that,
about this on the Greek show?
yes.
This one? This
Yes.
one's big.
Oh, that
This
one's
one's
for
big.
the
This one's
Greeks.
big.
Forget it.
Bruce Boudreau is the new head coach of the Vancouver Canucks. The fans have a new chance. Bruce, there it is. Do you like it or not?
I love it, but there is all the wins that come with it too.
I agree. Real quick, bio video last week came out of a baseball umpire drunk, and he was removed from the minor league game. Make sense or let him off?
How else do you ref a minor league game?
But he should have seen the video. I don't know if you saw
No,
it.
I didn't.
He was so drunk. It was basically me coaching or umpiring first base.
Yeah, you know the best part. He's probably, I can't believe I got to do the Santa gig after this.
That's good. That's good. That's like, which NHL player would you have drinks with?
All of them,
Really?
except Matt Duchene. I heard he's kind of a loser.
Really?
And Hamilton.
All right. Last
No,
one.
you want honestly?
Yeah.
If I had to have drinks with a
Yes,
guy,
yeah.
it's Ovechkin. You crazy?
Of
the track
course.
record speaks for itself.
Oh, what about Kucherov?
Okay.
Okay, how about this? I bring Kuch. You
I'll
bring
bring
Ovech.
Ovi. There we go,
all right,
done.
fair enough. Last one.
Keg?
Where else are we gonna
Where
go?
else are we gonna
That or
take
the
him?
Bonacera, we're gonna get robbed anyways. Oh, Canada. Exactly 130 years ago today, James Naismith invented the game of basketball. Do you think he would have been okay with the alley-oop?
Who isn't? It's like the best play in sports.
It's the greatest.
It's the greatest
play in
highlight reel
sport.
play in sports.
There it is.
It really is.
Rapid Banter, episode 188 in the books. Done. Here we go. We go off to Maga Malaka / Pastor Fail. Me and Dimitri argue about the name of this podcast each and every week, but here it is. We talked about it, and his name keeps coming up. It's the Jake Paul. You need a little respect, Jake Paul. We're gonna find out who do you need to fight to get some respect on your name. Are you ready?
Oh, I like that.
Here we go.
I like that.
All right, right off the bat, Justin Bieber, Maga or Malaka?
No, Malaka. He doesn't need
Well,
him.
no, I disagree.
He needs
no,
Bieber.
no. He's made Bieber bits?
Bieber bits.
Bieber
yeah.
bits.
No. Bieber's got to sing him out to the fight.
Oh, that's
They got to
not
work
bad.
together. They got to work together.
Collaboration.
Collab.
Yeah, they should collab. Okay, what if he fights double name Dr. Ryan Todd?
Yeah, he needs that fight.
He needs that
for
fight.
respect.
For respect.
For respect.
Dr.
yeah.
Ryan Todd.
It's tough. Mental game.
Mental game. That's it. How about, okay, they didn't fight, but they're supposed to fight Tommy Fury.
Yeah, pass. He's got to do that fight.
He's got to pass.
Legitimate boxer. He's got to do one now.
What do you think Tommy didn't fight him the first time around? What do you think his problem was? He said he wasn't feeling well. He has stomach ache.
I don't think he was fully ready.
See, that's what bothers me about it.
Yeah. If you want the truth, I actually don't think he was fully ready.
All right. How about Conor McGregor? Maga or Malaka?
Oh, Maga, Mitch. Look, actually, it's the other way around. Conor McGregor is the guy who needs to beg to fight him.
Yeah, but you know what? Hold on. We've talked about this before. Conor McGregor's like, what, 170 pounds if he's eating out of his mind.
Yeah, but he's gaining weight, Mitch, which makes me
Dude,
wonder.
but this kid is 6'1", 200 plus pounds. And he's 4 years old?
24, yeah.
Okay. Conor McGregor would be crazy to fight this guy. I really...
Do you
just
know...
Boxing, just
listen,
boxing. Just boxing.
my thing is this. Conor McGregor's not a good boxer. His UFC career is absolutely done.
Right.
Okay? Not done. I mean, he'll still draw names, but he's not the same guy. Pay-per-view numbers clearly show that. So go in, do your last hurrah, get the big money fight. Do you know how much money these guys will make off each other's names?
All right. Two more. Amanda Nunes. I know it's controversial. Amanda Nunes.
She lost her last fight, Mitch.
I
She
know
means
she did.
nothing to me, Malaka.
Whoa.
What have you done for me
Whoa.
lately?
All right, couple more. Then I said 2 more, but I'm lying. Bret the Hitman Hart.
You got to earn that respect because he is the
best
best there
there
is,
is,
the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And part Greek.
And part Greek. Damn right. All right, couple more. Old cousin Jim.
I don't think Jake Paul stands a chance, personally.
You know what?
But
Can I
if you
tell
want
something?
respect,
I will find that photo of old cousin Jim in his old Ernest Manning high school gym wrestling shorts.
right.
That photo alone will push Jake Paul going, I don't want a piece of this guy.
That's what I'm saying. You want dad strength?
That's
You want
yes.
You don't want any
That's
part of
right.
that.
That's right.
You don't want
I didn't even
any.
think of that.
You don't want any part of it.
Throw in the leotards and dad's
So this is the thing. If I was, you know what, old cousin Jim,
Yeah.
let me, honey, sugar baby, sweetheart,
What's going
let
on?
me manage you. You know what I would do? You'd say, Dimitri, should we do a training camp? No.
No.
Let me tell you when you're going to take the fight. I want you at the Magazi restaurant, day in, day out,
Yeah.
for 40 days straight.
That's
Just
not his style.
hold
That's
on,
not his style.
hold
I'm
on.
just saying.
Hear me
He
out.
doesn't know how to get there. He doesn't even know the road there. Just saying.
Hold on. So I want you to do 15-hour days at the restaurant
Yeah.
for 40 days straight. And right before the fight, I'm going to stage it so that a cook and a waitress doesn't show up. Then I'm going to pack Jim in the car, drive him over to the Paul fight.
Right.
And hey, Jakey, baby, you know
Oh,
I'm with
I
you.
see what you're doing.
You do not.
You don't wanna
you
mess
don't want
with
any
that.
part of a Greek.
Dimitri, you might be the greatest manager of all time.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
You want to fight a Greek after his waitress and cook called in sick, saying they have COVID, and then a week later
boy.
asking for their job back,
boy.
and EI claims.
might be
I
onto
mean,
something.
you don't want any part of that,
Dude, you literally might be onto something.
Yeah, man. I'm saying find some old Greek dad.
2
against
more.
Jake Paul.
2 more. If Jake Paul wants a little respect on his name, who does he fight? Santa Claus. Maga or Malaka.
You know, I'm going to say Malaka. I have an image of Santa Claus,
Right.
and I just don't want it ruined for me.
Okay, fair enough. Second last one. I just thought of one. T-Bone, Dale, Maga or Malaka.
Maga.
Maga. I think Dale can take him.
You know what? That's
Dale's got, again, dad strength.
I also think Dale's got a jab, I think.
I think
I
Dale,
think
he's
it's
got
in and out.
strength.
It's in and out.
He's long.
He's long.
Yeah, he's long.
You know, and curling's a patient man's game. So
It's true. It's a curl. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely. I can't argue it. Yeah. Okay. Last one. Hey, Jake. Respect, and this is like, swear to God, this is legit.
patient man's
If you
game.
could get a fight with this guy, and you end up somehow winning or at least give him competition, it's George Kambosos Jr., Maga or Malaka.
I'm going to go Maga because at this point, I think George can actually beat up anybody. So, yeah,
George-
good test for the Paul.
George can beat up our dads, and we feel like our dads could beat up anybody. Am I right or am I right?
I'm telling you, old cousin Jim,
Old cousin.
right after a 40-day shift, no waitress, no one.
It's-
Get him in the ring.
It's vicious.
Yeah, even
got yourself
buddy
a
Michael
girl.
Vick will say, I don't want to fight this dog. I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Hot take.
Hot take.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 188 is in the books. Hey, I don't want to say it.
You know what?
I don't want to say it.
I'll
You want to
say
say it?
I'll
All
say
right,
it.
you say it.
Episode 188. Thank you very much for listening. Look, we upped it up a little bit. We gave a little more time. We've given you over an hour. You know I'm a stickler for the time, but I say, hey, we're sending you off for a couple weeks. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year, roster. Thank you for everything. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to tune in on the channels, Instagram, as well as Twitter at Sports Show YYC. You can find us on Facebook. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Amy, can you put a subscribe right
right
there?
there.
Subscribe right there to the YouTube channel. Spotify,
Boom.
Podbean, iTunes, CJSW.com, 90.9 FM. This is one for the books, but we got to shove it in the locker because we got to hit the showers. Thanks, Ross.
Okay, last one. Swear to goodness. Island. Island boys. I'm an
You know what?
island boy.
That would be good because they just walked off the set of his brother's
I
podcast.
saw that.
And then actually they should do a triple threat. See, you got to do triple threat.
I
with
see
the
what you're
Island
saying.
Boys. So it's both the Island Boys at the same time in the boxing ring
Right.
with the Jake Paul.
Against me and you.
What's that?
The three of us. That's the triple.
No,
threat.
I'm saying Paul against the two Island Boys.
How about this?
You want to
Jake
walk up
Paul and was it Logan Paul?
Yeah.
Island boys, me and you. We can do this. We can do this. Even
tough
if we
one.
lose, we win.
What's that?
Even if we lose,
You know what? The thing
we
is, we
win.
send the Island Boys in first. They get knocked out.
Of course.
Then we put them over our shoulders and we
And use them as protection.
like shields.
Yeah.
Thum, thum, thum. Like
I'm
you
not
know,
gonna lie to you. I'd steal their teeth.
What's that? You'd
I want their
you'd
teeth.
steal-
I want their teeth. I want their teeth.
I like how they tested it was real.
I'm
No,
an
listen.
island boy.
No.
I'm an island-
Let me tell you something.
What?
Jake Paul,
Yeah.
Logan Paul,
Right.
me,
Yeah.
you,
Right.
You put your differences aside with old cousin Jim.
Right.
40 days, no server, no cook.
That's the wild coyote. That's what you're saying.
He's just
You put him on a
he's
leash. You're like, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
yeah. Like you remember in Gladiator where they like had the lions right when Maximus was going against Titus. That's old cousin Jim. He's waiting on the sideline. Like, look, we're gonna have to rope him up
like-
against the turnbuckle.
Alberta Cheese Steve.
Yeah,
He's like, what did you say? Did you say the cheese? The price of
I'm telling you, if we cage him at the turnbuckle, so anytime we're like push him in the rope, he's right in the like, oh geez, right? You know that it's crazy. It's like Gladiator. That's how we gotta fight these guys. Okay. So we got
Jim.
what? You're no.
Okay,
Logan Paul.
Jim and Dale.
Logan Paul
Jim and
versus
Dale.
Jim and Dale. Each sides of the ring. Just have them loose, right? Okay, here's one for you. Who? Okay. Old cousin Jim versus Dale. Let me paint the scenario.
I don't want to see that.
No.
That's like Hollywood Hogan.
It's Pacquiao Mayweather. It's Pacquiao Mayweather.
That's like Hollywood Hogan versus the old Hogan. I don't want to see that. No one wants to see that.
Hold on, follow me on this.
No.
Old
I can't let you do it. No.
Just
I don't want to see
Just
it.
let me finish. Old cousin Jim. We take him 40 days. No cook, no server. Right in the car. We drop him off at the curling rink. At the same time, that T-Bone skipper ruins the game for the championship.
I don't know what happened.
He's walking up the
I'll
stairs.
tell you what happened. Atomic bomb. That's what happened.
So T-Bone's walking up the stairs.
Nagasaki.
Old cousin Jim's walking into the arena. They bump shoulders. Hey, watch it. Hey, you watch it, pal. And then I don't know. Who do you got? Who do you got?
I can't. That's the craziest thing that's ever happened.
I go with the draw. I know it's a cop out.
It's a draw.
I
It's a
think
draw.
I think
We can't
that's
choose.
Rocky
We can't
too.
choose.
It's Rocky too.
You know, at the end where they're both punching.
Boy, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
exactly it. I'm crying. I'm 43 and I'm crying. I'm 43.
So who's madder, old cousin Jim because the server doesn't show up, or T-Bone? Skipper ruined the game. He ruined the club. We gotta go.
When it drop, then I'm mostly what they bopping. You can say what you got when it's Tuesday, I be locked in.